What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Explosive Wonder. I'm your host, Nuglia, and, and today we're going to be talking all about the Loki series and how that ties in. Now, there was a cactus. This is a flashback. And I'll also talk about Century. So hopefully, yeah. Century is a hero with the power of 1,000,000 setting suns. And yeah. He's basically like Marvel's Superman, which Superman at this time doesn't exist anymore. Um, anyway, Owen Wilson was running behind the head of the TVA. In the Loki season trailer we got in the Super Bowl, and in Loki, and in the episodes itself, that's what was rumored to happen. Of course, it didn't happen, and the MCU decided not to include Owen Wilson in the movie at all. I mean, in the show at all. But yeah. Um, and then obviously we know Kang is going to be the next big bad of the multiverse, and his origin story is complex. He was a very successful in school until he got cut on the neck, and he would eventually become King the Conqueror. Yeah. Going back to Century here. Century had a long history as well. And we could be seeing Century in the MCU. I would love to get new characters. And being late in the MCU, we already got one, Ironheart, which she's pretty good, by the way. And the kit, and yeah, and like he goes from there and he becomes Kang the Conqueror. Now, Kang has defeated multiple Avengers in multiple different times, and in Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, they're going to have the heroes split into two timelines and meet the two-gun kid. And eventually, Kang the Conqueror, right back to Kang, is when is eventually caught by the TVA and kind of over defeats them and do his dirty work for kind of him, literally. But anyway, they make sure all the timelines are in the correct place. And yeah, just like we saw in Loki season 1. And Kang goes back in time to meet his 16-year-old self. And his 16-year-old self and he shows him what he's going to become. And he says no. He was horrified. And he wanted to be a hero. And eventually he recruited the Young Avengers, who is being set up in the MCU right now. But of course they're not in it right now, so yeah. Okay, back to Century. Century eventually worked with Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four and the Hulk. He and the Hulk were best friends, and he turned up in the Ultimate Avengers, the Dark Avengers, the regular Avengers, and World War Hulk. This is really interesting to me because Marvel has been rumored to come out with a World War Hulk film. I wonder if we'll get Century in that film. Yeah. He tries to defeat the Hulk, and eventually goes back to his human form. He also got his memory wiped 2 times, and somebody put a chip in there. I don't know who, I don't remember. And he became part of the Dark Avengers. Now we know that the Dark Avengers were created by Norman Osborn, which is very interesting because we don't have a Norman Osborn in the MCU yet. We did in Sony, he was great, and we saw him in No Way Home again, and obviously he went back home after, he went back to the Sonyverse after a short while, and yeah, which means that the Dark Avengers are no more anymore. But Marvel has been rumored with the Dark Avengers thing, and we might know who's gonna play Iron Lad in the MCU. Spoiler alert for Avengers Endgame and the Loki series. I'm sorry, but yeah. Anyway, what was I going to say? I don't remember what I was gonna say. It slipped my mind. But anyway. Anyway, Sentry is limited to come in the MCU. Oh yeah, Iron Lad. We saw Iron... the character who's gonna play Iron Lad was that little boy in Iron Man 3. Of course, it's been a long time since Iron Man 3 was in development. I haven't really watched it. I only watched it like once. So, yeah. Maybe more than once, but he is going to play... I don't remember the actor's name. Iron Lad, who eventually is Kang the Conqueror. He turns evil, and after he joins the Avengers and tries to kill Kang anyway, and Marvel doesn't really follow the comic storyline, but I don't think that this is happening in Avengers. I mean, any movies anytime soon. I would love to be wrong, of course, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to get Iron Lad anytime soon in the MCU because we have Ironheart.